Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic: are you too scared to get better? We'll get to that in a minute. Relax, breathe, smile, trust. Know that you can do this. So, a lot of people tell me, I'm too scared to get better, or I can't believe that my brain is creating all these symptoms, or any number of reasons why they don't think they can do this. So in other videos and in my group coaching and in my course, I talk about the foundational four. What causes symptoms? Does this apply to me? The assessments. Is there a cure? Yes, you're watching part of it. And 4, am I capable of implementing this stuff and teaching my brain that I'm okay? And for some people, they hear that perceived danger is the cause of symptoms, which we know to be true, right? Dr. Sarno thought it was the repressed emotions which the brain perceived as dangerous, so he was right. And what I've come to conclude is that there's many things that the brain can perceive as dangerous. And once we have symptoms, sometimes it's the symptoms themselves, the fear of them not going away, this catastrophic view of the future, the suffering, the inability to work, a lack of money. There's all sorts of things can keep the brain on high alert. And so many people are very frightened by this experience. And what I end up doing my best trying to convey is that your brain's working perfectly. It's just operating on misinformation and fear. And when we feed the brain the right information consistently, confidently, credibly, the brain can make a different decision and turn symptoms down, then off. So are you too scared to do this? Well, in many cases, people become afraid of fear. I'm afraid. But fear is a problem, so how am I supposed to get out? They feel kind of like they're trapped in this box, like, how am I supposed to teach my brain I'm safe when I'm so scared? And again, for me to just go, don't be afraid. I know that sounds very dismissive and, for many of us, impossible. But I do believe it's a gradual learning process. And once we understand what's going on, how this machinery called the human body, brain, nervous system, pain, symptoms work, it becomes a little bit easier to neutralize the fear, a little bit at a time. And I just talked about recently, still in doubt, do it anyway. And what I mean by that is start to implement these messages of safety. Start to convey to yourself, I'm going to be okay. I just saw a comment today, I think it was on YouTube, where somebody says, my symptoms were there. And I reminded myself, no, they don't need to be, because nothing bad is going on. And sure enough, the symptoms settled down. And so it's not a light switch, and that's not going to work all the time. But that person was a little bit deeper into the process, and their brain was more willing to accept those messages of safety. But it takes time, it takes practice, it takes consistency. If you're panicking today and trying to remind yourself you're safe tomorrow, you think your brain is going to wholesale accept those messages of safety? If you were in a complete panic yesterday, probably not. So it does take time, take consistency, takes practice. Fear is not something you're going to be able to wipe out in a single swipe. Knowledge. Do the knowledge acquisition. Read my book. Watch my Fast Start playlist, dansfaststart.com. The book is at painfreeyoubook.com. You can get it on audible.com or even Spotify. But knowledge is really important, because if you don't understand this stuff, it really, really is near impossible to teach the brain that we're okay and reduce the fear to the point that symptoms go away. So we really need the knowledge acquisition. So if you're still really afraid, make sure you understand how the system works. Because once you do, then you can start reminding yourself, I know symptoms are high and I'm really scared, but I know what's going on. And that helps. It doesn't wipe away the fear instantly. Fear takes some time to get over. But as you get deeper into this process and learning more and accepting that this is going on with you because you've done the assessments, then you're going to start to feel a little bit more capable of actually making progress here. And as you start conveying safety more, you're going to realize that your mindset is starting to shift, meaning you may have symptoms, but you're not as bothered by them. That's part of the journey too, learning to be less bothered by the symptoms. Just had a great success story with a gentleman named Alex. It'll be out in a few days. And, one thing that he found was really, really helpful was one of the things I teach, which is going from, oh no, to oh well, right? And so these things, they cumulatively all work together. But the knowledge is the foundation. The acceptance is the foundation. Knowing that you can do this is the foundation. Knowing there's a cure. These are the foundational pieces that make the rest of the journey more attainable. So do you feel too scared to get better? Try not to create a secondary story that I'm afraid so I'll never get better, because that just creates more fear, and then you're stuck in that fear loop, right? The story is that fear can be overcome with accurate knowledge and with consistent messages of, I'm going to be okay. And so no sense of being afraid of the fear. Don't be afraid of your brain either. It's just doing its best to help you, save you, protect you. But it's working with misinformation that you perceive you might be broken or sick. And with that misinformation, it creates a lot of fear. So your brain's not working against you. It's really trying to keep you safe and alive. It's just operating on bad data. So fix the data, accurate knowledge, assess, know there's a cure, know you can do it. You're not too scared. You may be scared now, but with time, consistency, accurate knowledge, acceptance of where you are, you'll get there, because there's a lot of people getting better. And I can guarantee you that many of those people were not just scared, but terrified. And through this process, this proven process, they're getting better. And so can you. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Love you folks, and we'll see you soon. Take care.